So now we're going to do a quick Latvian gambit, obviously my favorite opening, because it is so completely unsound. And we're going to show you how we beat somebody a couple hundred points higher than we are, who just makes the simplest and the smallest of mistakes. In fact, we're playing a fairly spurious kingside attack, where we have the F file open, and we're actually going to cancel, as I recall, on the king side because it supports that F file so well. So let's look at it. Everybody seems to play these moves these days. This is the Bernstein attack, which is setting up a pin on h5 if black is silly enough to move his queen to g6. And this is probably the wrong move because d5 gives an advantage to white, and for some reason 9 out of 10 players don't play d5. They play that move. Some of them play bishop to e3, so they get the pawn push. And now I contend we have equality here. That says I should castle queenside here. And guess what? I don't believe I do that. I go for the spurious kingside attack instead, and it says he can just get an advantage by playing f3. Which is kind of interesting because it says he takes f3, bishop takes, then we castle queenside. So he plays f3, and instead of taking, we make this amazing queen move, which it was suggesting queen to h6. But it doesn't really look like it's a lot worse, but we are on the verge of losing here because he is capable of defending with g3. It just so happens that it's hard to defend. Moves his knight back, we pin. Now, unfortunately, we're moving a lot of the same pieces twice, and I've been in this position a number of times, and black just doesn't have quite enough to attack if white plays particularly well. And here we come with the bishop to f4, which is the computer move, the good move. So, you know, what happens when they make the good computer move, and we're forced to play queen to g6. Now it says pawn takes pawn, which is a very difficult move intuitively. And the reason why it's difficult to make that move is that it looks like you can just take back with the knight, but obviously that leaves h5 uncovered, which is a disaster for black. So he doesn't want to do that. Now h5 doesn't need to be covered, and we're gaining equality slowly. Now it says knight to f1 is a good move, and he starts marching his king all over the place. So we're about to destroy him with this knight move. Now gives us equality. It says he should move his bishop back, and he takes the bishop. So he's lost. How does this happen? Okay, I don't play the right order of moves, by the way. Check, knight takes. Now it just says rook takes is fine. Instead I check like a imbecile, giving him an advantage. Well, not an advantage, but a way out. Now it says I should play queen takes f4, and I don't. I fork him instead, and now white has the advantage after knight takes d5. So he could simply give back the material here and be fine. So I make a bad move. He retreats his rook, however, and instantly loses. Check, and now he's in a mating net, and the game's over. So, as you can see, these are radical swings with one little move, and gigantic mating attacks, and real simple. The simple takeaway of this game is that when you're ahead by a piece, and you're faced with a hideous kingside attack, give the material back, even if it puts you at a disadvantage. So this was a quick Latvian, and it was just for fun.